So, hi people, good morning. Today I'm going to start about a topic about design thinking and how it works on the product. So, we are a lucky generation because we are not fighting with the revolution, but we are looking at the evolution of the technology. So, whenever we come across normal things like So these are the topics which we are going to cover. So there are about 12 topics, I hope, or more. So the simple things like from tap water, doors and cars, we have design issues. So from door to tap water to car, we have design issues everywhere. So if we want to find out which switches for which light, we are not able to find, right? Are we able to open the door without hitting ourselves? Really? No. We push a pull door and pull a push door. Everybody does, yes. And even Gaurav opens a hot water for coffee. Right? Coffee. Why? There is no right signifiers. It's not a mistake of us. It's a mistake of the design. Mostly what we do is we blame ourselves that I'm not able to open the door. I'm not able to get the coffee. We are blaming ourselves. But the truth is, the problem is with the design. It's not with us. The technology is not meant for people. So how we solve these problems? By a user-centered method or a human-centered method. You take the user and find his activity, and based on that, if you design, you'd be solving this issue. Rather than thinking in a box, within a box, you won't be able to solve the issue. You'll be creating more issue rather than solving that. So which one do you choose in these three vegetable peelers? Why not A? A is functional. It can even still peel. No one says A. Who is with me? Developers have all their comments. This is functional still. Why do you want to change in the design? We have a comment on that, right? Most of the time. So you could see we want to. Why we choose B and C? Because it's safer. It doesn't hurt your hand. So design has to be useful. That's why we choose B and C. So B or C is about the purpose actually. It's both are right. So whenever we are having a problem, we don't look into the root cause of the problem. When you go to a doctor having a cough, you don't say that the doctor doesn't see that you have a cough. Does he give the medicine for just a cough? No. He gives the medicine for the cold. That means he's solving the root cause. If he just gives a medicine for the cough, it's never going to stop. Still you're going to make another problem. The cold is going to get worse and you're going to struggle again. So this is a funny thing which I came across when I was searching for this. A guy is trying to want to put some people into cobalt class, but he is trying to solve the wrong problem by keeping some other person who doesn't even know to do. Like Anu is asking to be coding the same way. So most times what is missing with the design issue is empathy. We never look into what user wants. We just try to solve it. We struggle to solve it, but we are not actually solving it. We are creating a new problem, just like this one. A designer who designed it wrongly. So all he could have at least made a swing. Why this problem issue? Can you see on to it? This is because the designer never thought about why this design is gonna, where it is gonna be used, and why is it gonna be used. He just want a creative way. He just put a swing in between. He want a symmetric design or whatever he thought about while he designing this swing. But if he thought who is gonna use, the 6-year-old kid or a 7-year-old kid, the age limit, he should have thought about that. And what's the purpose of that? If he has thought about that, he wouldn't have ended up in the one in the center. So what is mostly missing with us is the empathy. We never look into how the user will be doing it. We just want to solve the issue logically. So always know for whom you are solving the doing the product and why you are doing the product. Know the people for whom you are designing it. Then you will be solving most of the problems. So sometimes we have issues, problems like Facebook. It's meant for all. Universal remote. It's meant for all. So where is the single user comes into existence, right? At that time, is a universal remote is usable by your grandma or my grandma? No, right? Then still, it's not a universal. It's meant for a certain limit of people. So, whatever I sound, it may be, whatever you sound, it doesn't look like what will be in the real-time business, right? Most of you think like that. But when you don't look into what is the user requirement, you're not really solving the issue. When the business requirement meets up the user requirement, that's the point when you get a good product. What is WhatsApp? Example. It's the same SMS thing which we've been using this lot of time, but it's solving a problem of new way. We can put voice into it, photo into it, we can share a lot of things, but it's same as Skype or same as messaging. What's the new? Why it got hit? It's the same old idea, but it's a new thinking. It's problem of solving everything in one single text box. So yes, design thinking also has a process. That's empathize. First put your user into your mind. Next, define what all you're going to solve. Then ideate it, make a prototype. If it's a slide, create a sample slide and try it with your user, your real user, not within the team. So with a real user, if you try it, you will find out new problems, what they are really facing about, and we'll be trying to solve the problem. So usability and emotion matters. Why? Most of the elements which we use in the product has an emotion related to it. If I had a red color to an element, it has an emotion related to it. We just try to look at it. I mostly use the color red because red has the most empathetic value or the emotional value with the people. So look into these products which have been designed. It can still be used, but is it usable? No. Let's look into the next product. This one. Why this is usable? It's a good product, right? You can cut and you can serve right away. You need not to take another spatula or something, some new element tool to take it and serve it. A pizza. Pull out the pizza here. Obviously everyone. So why this makes it more usable? Because it has affordance. The object and the people, the user, know what to be done. The big hole, you know, the 4 fingers goes into that. And the last one, you can handle it. The signifier says that it has the shape of the same pizza, so it goes right away to that. It shows signifier. Example like the pull or the push signification which we put on the glass door. And the feedback. As soon as you cut, you get your pizza. So that's the feedback you get. So at the starting we spoke about the glass door issue, right? So the signifiers alone doesn't make the change. So there has to be an affordance in the right my left corner and your right corner. So there's a signifiers of push or pull, what you have to do. And affordance is limiting the relationship with the user and the object. So in that, the first one, you can't do anything. You can't put. You can only do is push. You can't do more than that. What you can do? You can try to pull. No, you can't. So if you limit the user to do something, he won't make error. So where is the feedback? When I try to do this, I get the feedback of door getting opening. And if we change these, and again we are putting other user into problem. So design thinking can solve the issues. And in the upcoming technologies, we know that the technology is running faster than the olden days. The time it took for a Walkman and an iPod was very long. But from the mobile to watches and other new stuff are coming faster than, it's evolving faster. So never stop improving your product. The user doesn't want to sit with one product. If why iPod got hit or why Kindle got hit, it can work without the dependency of the computer. Kindle can download books and read it right away. You need not to wait it to be connected with the system or copy the books to be from the system. Then you need not to use. It works right away. That's why the Kindle got hit. So the ideas are not something new. They exist, just that you put a design thinking and put a user activity into it, think about that, and you can come up with a new solution. And this is one of a usability thing which I came up with. The 400 features, and we are missing with one more feature that it's not easy to use. So the guy says, let me add that also to my feature list. So it looks funny, but do people need simple things? Most of us says yes, but actually we need complex things. Exactly. Google looks complex or simple? But it is more complicated. Only that where the complication is it's above the table or the under the table. Google does lot under the table. That's why the technology has to become intelligent rather than giving the complexity to the user. When you simplify the user, you're adding the complexity in the back end. That means, I know whom I'm pointing out, right? Our developers. So till this time, what we think about is, wow, that's a good design. How do you say that's a good design? Visually it's pleasing, right? Sometimes we say, oh, it's visually pleasing. If it's visually pleasing, that's called an art. If it works, that's called a design. That's what the Steve Jobs quote actually says. So let us see how a visual design can improve the design in. Again, who will use the first scanner, CD scanner? It works. So again, it works. And the second one, we will mostly. Who is with the second one? The third one? You know why? The second one is not usable. Second one, huh? No, actually, it's not usable for kids. The inventor of the CD scanner wanted to see how the CD scanner really works. He went and stood before the CD scan behind the glass door and waited for them. The kids who went through that was forced to use the CD scanner, and when they came back, the first question was, Mom, am I going to die? Because that's what they watched in the movie, right? And they cry. And the inventor wanted to solve this issue. He wanted to make the experience better. So he visually painted the kind of dolphins, underwater things, and whenever we put the child into it, they told a story that the pirates are going to attack you, so you are going inside a room and you will come back safe. So the kids were excited to use that. And actually it created a new problem that when the kids came back, they asked, "Mom, when can I come back?" So color theory. Whenever there is a color in an application, it has an emotion related to it. Most of the time I've been asked the same question. "Anu, why don't you put some colors into our application? It looks so dull." The truth is, I don't know my user. I don't know who is really using it. I don't know who is touching the user things. So when I put colors, it may affect the user. You know why the Facebook is in blue, right? It's a neutral color. I try to keep it neutral, subtle, clear. If I don't know how they react to the colors. I don't want them to react to the colors. That's right. So every color has an emotion and it has brand relation. So these are the colors which has meaning. So yellow, optimism, friendly, and those stuff. So there is a relationship between the colors and the brands, and why we use that color to the brand or not. Why Google has used multiple colors? Because it wants to be young, friendly, and children love it. It wants to show themselves, their brand as fun. That's the thing. So why animal brand use green? Because they are related to some ecosystem or those stuff, ecology. And forgot to say, what about the Coca-Cola and why they use red? Red is not good, right? Red is bad. Most times we say red is bad, but red is a catchy color. So if you want to do a hard branding, you have to show off your color brand, you need to use red. And the basic colors when these brands were introduced was CMYK. That's the whole color they had in their mind. So mostly would be going with the hard colors. Now we have a lot of colors to use. Shapes. Oh, I'm a designer. Let me put my creativity into the design and let me change the graphic signal completely. Let me stop in blue color, the ready in green signal sign, and let me change the shape of that, and let me put that go in green, the red color. So I'm so creative. No, you don't change the basic values of that. The colors as an emotion and related to it. So you can't change that. You can't change the shape. It has to be, it is physically related to the object, even if it is for web or any product you use. So this is a creative signal which I came across when I looking at the web. Actually this really works and really good, and it's fun. See, they didn't change the shape of the color, but they changed the shape into a timer, a sand timer, which we don't use right now, but it is fun. It's good to look at it, and it's fun, and it's usable. Why? It gives you a feedback that how many seconds is left to change the next signal. So let me come to the patterns. You would have seen the patterns in fashion. So this is a pattern which is used for web. Pattern are repeated things in the design to make it will be in the background, or it will be a texture, it will have a value. But when you have a pattern, and if you disturb the pattern, you will be concentrating on that. That's why you are concentrating on the yellow and the red dot there. So then comes the typography, the font we use. If I used a bad font in the whole slide, it would have been you won't even understand what I am trying to say, or I could have written a handwritten font. It reduces trustability. So there is the font you use also has a meaning, as an emotion connected to it. So design is related to emotion. So this is a bad typography which I found on the net. On the right side, the fish factory, and it's confusing to read. It gets, wow, really? Should I read that? Yeah, that kind of feeling we get it. And left is to my right is a good typography, which says good typography is invisible and bad typography is everywhere. Questions? So no one wants silk? Oh, great. I can go back and forth, that's fine with me. So, do anyone ask questions? The usability test.
So you want 2 versions and test it.
I got your question about the usability testing. We do focus testing. That is done by US team directly with the user, and we also have a user recording in it. It's implemented in Elastic, not this one, not the learning spaces, because Elastic is our product. So it's there. We record the user session. We find in the real time how they find difficulty in using our product, and we try to improve it. So only one silk. I'm saved.
We have symbols, right? There are different types of symbols.
Yes.
It means something offensive in one country, that is it is offensive in some other country. So when we design it, how do we take care of it?
So let me come to that slide. The shapes. So the basic shapes like cross. I intentionally put that cross your right, and I put the green there. Cross means don't do it. It's wrong. Something which basic. We all know. We all know from the road signals. We relate the physical signal and this thing. And with, the symbols which you tell as mentioned to the culture, that's all. If we know our user, we won't be using that symbol. Particular to the culture or particular region. Yeah.
So how would you be collecting feedback from the user, like whether they like the design or not?
As I said, we record the session. We find the issues where the problems are, and the one we are talking about is the direct user feedback. That is done by the focus group. They sit with the user. They focus on how they try to do the application. Then we understand, okay, here they have an issue. And in agile process, let me tell you, we don't have time for planning a lot time. We plan short, we execute fast, then we get the feedback, then we update. We don't have, right, when a product is delayed released or early released, it doesn't have a business value.
This product is used by many people, right?
Yes.
The product which is designed.
Yes.
So we can't please every person. So a particular design will have an issue with some of the people, and
Yes.
the design will be pleased by somebody.
Yes.
So how do you do
So one of the things which we came across is color blindness. I think we worked a year before on that issue. It's about certain people who has a color issue. They see yellow and red and green as the same color, but our application is completely about that. You know that it's about the report and those stuff. How do you solve that? We try to come up with the patterns and we applied the thing which I spoke about in the 23rd slide, the patterns. We applied patterns on the colors so that there's a differentiation between three colors. But that didn't affect the normal user. It gave an extra feature for the color blindness people. So you can make changes without disturbing the other user.
So is it a good idea to provide themes so that the user can select?
Personalization. Personalization is always good. Facebook does personalization, Google does personalization. Personalization is always good. Because when we buy a product, when we buy a mobile or some product, we try to personalize it. We keep it ourselves. We keep our password. We keep our photo. So we try to personalize it. So personalization is good. That's a feature. That's an add-on feature you can suggest. Yeah.
Can you explain a color filtration?
Yes. So colors as printable colors and web colors. So RGB and CMYK. So CMYK is cyan, magenta, yellow and black. K is meant black there, and RGB is red, blue and green, and the other colors are result of mixture of it. And can I have a precise question about that? What do you want to know about the color? Huh? The colors, what the theory says is every color has a meaning and emotion related to it. This is the color emotion guide. That's the theory which I'm trying to say. When you use a color in an application, let's come to a product, it has an emotion related to it.
Sometimes we design pages in accordance to the images that we have from the application. For instance, you have some image which is part of your product, and if you have your theme in such a way that it collides with the
Means the brand and the color,
yeah,
brand and the image. Our product and Facebook and those products, our content is the king. Whatever the content is delivered makes the more value. It's not about the color which is going to collide with our branding or nothing like that. For us, content is the king. If you say about a brand poster which we are going to design, and if it doesn't match up with the color of our thing, then yeah, probably that's a problem. But this here, rich content media is our basic application thing. So there we will have a lot of different images, PC, biology, BC, geography. So a lot of different images will be implemented in the application. So that's not in our hand. It's the thing why we created actually. That's why we keep other things subtle and the content will be more focused.
So I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, you might be liking a bright color.
Yeah.
So the other person might be liking something. So what is the standard? So that you know, like larger objects.
Yes. See, red, yellow, orange are young colors. Just let me take our application learning spaces, which is quite good. So the learning spaces doesn't use yellow, orange or red in as a whole application. Only when you have issue, we say you have a red. You have to look into this. So yellow means okay, the progression is good and you get notification or something where so we use the meaning of the color into the application wherever it's required.
Regarding the font,
Yeah.
so when you go to purpose of
Millions of fonts, yes.
so can you just tell us what is the best font?
Base fonts are,
We don't want to explain.
yeah, I know. So there's a lot of fonts. There's a purpose where you're calling this. If you're gonna print, better use serif fonts. Serif fonts are, sorry, sans serif fonts. These fonts, which has dates and dates, which will be more readable in the printed. So if you go for a sans font, it is more of good in that.
It's basically based on the context.
Yeah,
For
monitor.
instance,
Just like, huh?
For instance, our application enables reading. Expect to read a lot.
Yes.
It's because of this context of reading.
Yes.
So we used to be the happy user friend. It's the best font we can have.
We use also Open Sans, but the content comes from the book publishers and those people. We use the font which they give. You have a book experience, right? You would have read a book. You would have read in some certain font. You want to see the same thing in the book which we use. So what we did is, whatever it is there, we'll be showing the same. We'll not be changing it. But if it's our application, our thing, and our content, I'll be using Open Sans, which is kind of this font, kind of similar to this font, which is good for reading. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, sir, for the presentation.